G'day guys, welcome to my RX V2 video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about NRL Round 14 predictions for 2020 guys, so let's get started. So starting off with this first match of this game, we see the Roosters going up against the Storm. Now, this game's going to be a real good contest, but it's going to be a real hard match because the Roosters have won 11 games in the past 12 matches in this game up against the Storm. But I can definitely tell the way that the Storm are really putting defence on other different teams. But in this clash, it's going to be a real hard clash, but I do see this game going into a tight contest. But they really fire it up sometimes with Ryan Pappenhausen and Josh Adokar. He was amazing last week against Bulldogs. Yeah, and I just think Riley Jacks will have a great game tonight. And I do think that this game will be a really good contest, but it's just going to be a real tight match, and I just don't think that the Storm are just going to win this game because it'll be a real tight contest, but I just don't see the Melbourne Storm winning up against the Sydney Roosters. The Sydney Roosters are a real good footy team, but they've gotten Ryan Hall, James Tedesco, but no Cole Felt, which that means Lachlan Lamb is basically replacing Cole Flanagan for number 7 for the Roosters. So that means Cameron Munster from the Melbourne Storm is injured, so that means Riley Jacks will be replacing him in number 6 role. And also Matty Gavalu, number 5. We obviously got Joseph Manu, number 4. Not sure who number 3 would be, but I know for a fact it would be some player, but I'm not too sure anyway. But anyway, I'm going to go with the Sydney Roosters by 12 points, and I do think that this game will be a tight contest, but I don't think it will be a thrashing of a game, but it will be a splintering game of football anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Warriors going up against Panthers. Now, this game's going to be a real tight contest, but it's just how the way you want to build up points. But it's going to be a matter of focus that the Warriors are a real good team, but they do struggle a little bit. But last week they defeated the Manly Seagulls 26-22. But I do not think that the Warriors aren't going to win this game. But I just don't think that the Warriors will definitely put a lot of points up against the Panthers, because the Panthers are sitting on the first place on the ladder, which that is a great job for their team. I do think that this game will be a tight contest though, but it's just going to be a matter of points and a matter of contest and how the way you want to play your ball properly. So I'm going to go with the Panthers on this one. I do think that this game will be a tight contest, but I am going to go with the Panthers by 14 points, and I do think that this game will be a tight contest, but it won't be a thrashing of a game. But I reckon the Warriors will probably put some points on up against the Panthers in the first half, and then I reckon the Panthers will definitely come back and win the game for sure. So I reckon Warriors will definitely put some points on, and I reckon Panthers will definitely come back and win this game by 14 points anyway. But I do think that Caleb Bankins is a real good player also too, but I just don't see him defending really well and attacking really well. Also you got Tyrone May, which he is a real good player also too. You obviously got Nathan Cleary, he's a great player. Stephen Crichton, great player, always scores tries. I don't think he will score the try in this match though. I just don't see him scoring a try in this match, but if he does, I have the benefit of the doubt for him. Well done for a great player. But I'm going to go with the Panthers by 14 points, and I do think that this game will be a tight contest, but not a big thrashing anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Eels going up against Dragons. Now, I do think that this game is going to be a real tight contest, but the Dragons are struggling a little bit, but I do have a breaking news for you guys. Paul McGregor is sacked, so he won't be coaching the Dragons anymore. I think Dean Young will be replacing him and doing the coaching role. It'll be a real horrible loss, but it will be a real big blow. So Corey Norman's going to be a number 6, but he is not really that great of a player, which I do see him not defending really well and attacking really well. So that means that when Corey Norman plays for different teams and other clubs, he just doesn't suit the fullback or 5'8". He just needs to be dropped, and he's just terrible, terrible player. But any other player for the Dragons, they are really good players out there for the Dragons too. But they are struggling a little bit too, but I just don't see them getting a big thrashing up against the Eels. But I'm going to go with the Eels by 18 points. I reckon 3 tries will win this game for sure. And I reckon Dylan Brown, Mitchell Moses, and plus Monga Blake will have a great game for sure. And I do think that this game will be a tight contest, but I don't think that this game will be a big thrashing of this match. But I do think that the Eels put on a lot of fight and a lot of pressure up against the Dragons, and last time they did, Mike Osivo had a great game, scoring I think 2 or 3 tries in that game. But this match, I don't see him scoring. I reckon Dylan Brown will have a great game, so will Mitchell Moses and Ronald Blake, but I do think that this game will be a tight match, so I'm going to go with the Eels by 18 points anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Sharks going up against Titans. Now, this game's going to be a real good contest, but the Titans are a really good team. They have stepped up a little bit, a couple of times when they defeated the Cowboys 30-10 last week. That was a real good thrashing of that club. But the Titans are a really good football team, which I do see them winning a football match for sure. But they're not a top 8 side. And if they want to be like a top 8 side, they need to win some games. But unfortunately though, I don't think they would. So they're not a top 8 side for sure. But going up against the Sharks are a real football team, and they are a really incredible football team. They also got Sione Katoa, real good player that stands up for the club. I reckon he'll score 2 tries in that game. Plus, I reckon Connor Tracy will definitely have a great game too, and so will William Kennedy will have a great game, I reckon. And I do see that this game will be a real good thrashing of a game. But I haven't predicted this game to be a real embarrassing losing streak by the Titans. But I just don't see the Titans winning this game up against the Sharks. The Sharks are a real good team that haven't really executed that much, but I know for a fact that they are a real good football team anyway. So I'm going to go with the Sharks by 8 points, and I do see that this game will be a real good thrashing, but a not big of a thrashing anyway. But I do see this game being a tight contest. It's just a matter of time that the Titans will probably have a bad game or a good game. But I reckon they'll have a good game, but they'll probably not win this game for sure. But if they do, I'll be surprised. But if they don't, well done to the Sharks for making a real good winning point anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Cowboys going up against Rabbitohs. Now, I do see that this game will be a real tight contest, but the Cowboys are struggling bad, and I mean struggling real bad, because the Cowboys haven't really gotten a lot of points lately, and they are struggling so much, which I do see a loss and a real bad loss coming from the Rabbitohs, because the Rabbitohs are a real good football team, but they just haven't got that execution and that energy correctly. But last time they obviously played, I just think that the Cowboys were a better team. But I I don't see them winning this game for sure, only because that Ben Hampton's number 6, Hemiso Tupuai-Fido's number 5, and Scott Drinkwater will be number 1 in that game, which I see this game will be a lot of changes in that match. But this game will be a definite tight contest, so I'm definitely going to go with the Rabbitohs by 10 points, and I do see this game being 2 tries for a win, and I do see that this game will be a real tight contest, but it's going to be a real shock if the Cowboys make a real good win, and then the Rabbitohs will definitely struggle for sure. But I do see that this game not being as a tight contest, but I reckon the Rabbitohs will definitely win this game, but not by a long shot. But the Rabbitohs are a real good team, like such as Alex Johnston, and Jackson Paulo is a development player for a new club, which he came into the Rabbitohs anyway. But I'm just going to go with the Rabbitohs by 10 points anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Raiders going up against Broncos. Now, this game's going to be a real shocking of a fight, but the Raiders haven't really won any matches in this, or in any other rounds of the matches anyway. But the Raiders have lost Josh Hodgson, which is a big blow, but I reckon the Raiders will definitely put so much effort into this credible team. But the Broncos, they haven't really executed really well, and they are just terrible team. But they've lost Tavita Pingo Jr., which I think he's going to another club anyway, which that is a big blow for them. But I just think that this game will be a real tight contest, but I do see this game winning by a long shot for the Raiders. But I don't see this game being a tight contest, but it's going to be a real tough win. And this game, for sure, it's going to be a real easy win for the Raiders if they also make a real good win in their home stadium anyway. But I'm going to go with the Raiders by 16 points, and I do see this game winning by 3 tries, but missing a goal for sure. But I reckon Chante Nickel-Klokstad will have a great game. So will Jordan Rapana, probably maybe 1 or 2 tries here and there. I reckon, you name it, like Nick Kotrick, if he's playing number 5, I reckon he'll have a great game also too. But I think it will be a real tight contest if we see the Raiders making a win up against the Broncos anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Knights going up against the Manly Seagulls. Now, this game will be a real tight contest, but the Newcastle Knights haven't been executing very well, but they are a really good football team, such as because they've got Kalen Ponga, they've got Inari Tuolala, but they haven't got Connor Watson and Andrew McCulloch. Those 2 players have ended their season due to injury, and it's a real bad one anyway. So it's going to be a real blow for their team, but it's going to have to take some time for their club to reboost again. And then if they want to win a couple of games, they've got to train very hardly, work very hardly, and plus communicate very hardly too. But it's going to be a real good thrashing against the Manly Seagulls if they beat the Manly Seagulls by 20 points. But my prediction is I'm going to go with the Newcastle Knights by 20 points in this game. I reckon, though, Kalen Ponga will have a great game, scoring 2 tries. I just don't see Kurt Mann making a real good effort. I reckon, though, my prediction, Mitchell Pearce will have a great game too. I reckon he'll score 1 try in that game. So will Jacob Saifidi. He will have a great game too. And who else? You've got Mitch Barnett will have a great game, I reckon, but I just don't see him scoring lots and lots of tries in this season. But I just don't see the Manly Seagulls winning this game because they haven't really executed very well, but they have lost Dylan Walker and Tom Trbojevic. So I'm going to go with the Newcastle Knights by 20 points anyway. And last but certainly not least, we see the West Tigers going up against Bulldogs. Now, the West Tigers haven't really been a lot of talent lately, and they haven't really communicated very well. But it's a matter of time that if you want to execute your games very well, you have to make some wins. But the first step that they haven't really executed very well, but I know Michael Maguire was really pissed off, and like that lost 44 points to 4, which it was an embarrassing loss for them, and I feel so sorry for them anyway. But I just don't see the West Tigers making the top 8. Well, if they do, I reckon they won't make the top 5 or top 4. So I'm just going to have to say that I reckon Adam Doughty will have a great game. So will what's his name? Moses Mbai, if he's playing or not. I reckon he'll have a great game too. But I do see this club making a real good effort up against Bulldogs, because Bulldogs haven't really made an effort. They just keep losing. Every single time they play, they haven't really made an effort at all. Because Lachlan Lewis is number 7, and he doesn't make an effort for his club at all. So, thankfully, he has got dropped, but Jake Averillo shouldn't get dropped at all. But then Kieran Holland comes in for number 4 and replaces him. So that means Nick Meaney will be number 1. Dylan Watene-Selesniak will be number 2. Reina Smith will definitely be number 17 for the interchange bench. So that means it will be a lot difficult for their club if they need to really execute very well. But I'm just going to go with the West Tigers by 22 points, and I think that this game will be a lot of embarrassing losses in this game, but I just think that West Tigers will definitely make an effort up against the Bulldogs anyway. Thanks guys for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. I'll be doing a couple of videos coming to you guys soon. Also, I'll be doing more videos coming to you guys soon, so stay tuned for more. Plus, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and for this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, take care guys, stay safe, and have a good one. Plus, let's go up to 200 subscribers. We're seeing 168 anyway, so please, for the love of God, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Need to reach up to 200 subscribers anyway, but we need to reach to 200 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care.